Hi there, I'm Jonathan. I'm the Dungeon Master for Nat 1 Heroes, which is a bunch of people who have not forgotten how to play pretend, apparently. We play a homebrew 5th edition campaign called Actuary of Blasphemy. If you want to get caught up on that, the previous 2 episodes are available on YouTube, and you can just take a quick look at those and listen in and then come back to us right here if you want to, or you can just listen to whatever bullshit recap my players want to give you that makes them sound like not incompetent dunderheads.
What?
I love how his new thing is he pretends to compliment us, but then just Dikembe Mutombo blocks our shot at our attempt at being adept.
He's trying to trick us into giving a recap again.
It's working pretty well.
I think it's because Revenant was impatient with us last time when we were interrogated.
Per se.
What?
Like, impatient during what per se? Like,
during our interrogation.
Interrogation.
We were being interrogated by the Brass Vein Ioltan Empire for crimes
we did not commit.
That you can't prove we committed. So
or you can't prove it.
It's okay. I've got a plan to make us look really good in the media. So, just trust in old Revenant.
I think
a note for the players, not for the players and the listeners. Revenant does not know who the media is. He just knows there's a media.
It's probably a man called media.
And we shared
Tumble Branch.
We shared with the interrogators about our business, our LLC, which is Local Liars Corporation, Profits for Profit.
I would like to point out that your lawyer deliberately committed fraud so that you would have a limited liability corporation to operate under.
Right, because we made it up. Conversation.
Fraud is such a strong word.
It is. It's a thing you did.
Yeah, it's creative timekeeping, isn't it? I think it's called creative timekeeping.
Yes.
Very creative timekeeping.
There's no one to say we didn't have a company last week that we were planning for years.
You are currently in Brassvein, the city that floats above the clouds where nobody can see it, which is part of the Ioltan Empire.
Young BV.
Which buys and steals cities, as you have learned here recently.
Which isn't
cool.
Can
you buy and steal something at the same time?
Yes.
This sort of seems
apparently they did.
Well, hold on. Now, if you, I don't know, put a spell on someone to force them to sign paperwork, I think that that's stealing because they're not consenting, but then you give them money, so then you also bought it. So they have bought and stolen.
Yes. And during all the previous sessions, Revenant has been getting letters from a mysterious man who claims to be an anthropomorphic personification of death, Monsieur d'Artagnan Mortier, who has now sent a coachman and an invitation to a cocktail party with Revenant and you two looking up at this headless man sitting at the front of the coach. Controlling 2 black Pegasi.
I'm going to change my outfit to match the symbol on the coach. Same colors and that pattern, kind of delicately, I would say tastefully displayed.
You're going like for a cocktail dress, but matching like the emblem and stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so you have these little skull motifs and everything like that going on, and dice and cards.
Mm-hmm. It's very like baby goth.
Yeah, baby goth. Mm-hmm. And it goes very well with the bruises on your face from being thrown through a wall.
Yeah, like everyone.
I think Revenant is still wearing his fancy robes.
Yes. And Zermos is wearing what Zermos is wearing.
I only have one set of clothes.
It's that really sexy vest, right? That you open at the chest for us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The coachman shakes his hand a little bit and gives you a thumbs up.
Excellent.
When you point out the state of your clothes.
Oh yeah. I can't do anything like that. Are we going in here now?
And he gestures to the open door.
Yeah, I mean, I would very much like to meet Monsieur d'Artagnan Mortier. if you have reservations, right, feel free not to join me, but
I just
I'm going.
jump in, coach.
Yeah, he did say cocktail hour. Make space. I'm coming as well.
All right. And it is quite a roomy little coach. It has velvet seating, and it has seating that faces front to back so that you have like 4 spaces to sit in just looking at each other, and a nice little backgammon board in the center, and also bags of mixed nuts on the side, and a bottle of champagne.
Ooh, I'm gonna open the champagne.
All right.
Wait. Are there glasses?
There are glasses.
Who needs glasses?
We just look like a bunch of hillbillies.
Just a dex roll.
You need a dex roll, huh?
Have you ever opened up a bottle of champagne?
Oh yes, no, I'm terrified of it. I wrap a blanket around it. Bruin's not going to do that though.
Bruin's brave and reckless.
Yes, exactly.
It doesn't care about potentially losing eyes
or hurting anybody in the cavern. She's going to try and aim it away from them, though, like towards the corner.
Yeah, point out the window.
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
5 total.
Oh.
Revenant is wearing his goggles.
Roll a d4 for you.
No.
And there are 3 of you in the coach.
She should be 2 of them.
There's a value assigned.
I should be 2 of them.
Okay. So 2. It bounces around off the ceiling, off the back of the carriage, off the backgammon board, and like straight into Ruin's already bruised nose. But fortunately, by that point, it's lost enough momentum that it does not hurt her.
Oh, it just stung a little bit. My nose is already bruised. Oh, but luckily I have champagne.
You should open it with your hands and not your nose next time.
That's good advice. Do you want some?
Yeah, want me to pour us a few?
I mean, you've already opened it. We might as well partake.
Hey, Revenant, you know about booze. Is this good champagne?
The coach is clip-clopping along.
Is there? I have a
clops of. Yeah.
Is there windows?
Yes, there are windows.
Okay, my spear is not going to fit, so I kind of like because my legs can bend.
The coachman offers his hand to you.
No need. And then I'll just like roll the window down on the coach and prop it up in there so that my spear is just sticking out of the coach window.
You know what? This is roll for window rollers. Roll for window rollers. Just a straight luck roll.
Nat 20, baby.
Okay, fine. This fucking coach has power windows on it. We will allow that level of anachronism with Monsieur d'Artagnan Mortier's coach that he has sent for you. He has power windows. It's just a little button that has a little down arrow. And Zermos, being Zermos, just expects everything to work out for him and just pushes it down. You see like a little imp just jump out of the button and run along and go to this little window crank lever and just like swing his body around it until it goes down. And then the little imp gets off the crank and runs back up and hops back into the button.
Now this is luxury.
Mm-hmm. All right. And you go fairly quickly through the city. It almost seems like everyone is getting out of the way of this coachman.
Oh, that's great.
And you get some views of the city. There are statues everywhere. Impressive statues.
We point
some 20 feet tall, some 80 feet, some 5 feet, but they're everywhere.
Can I roll a perception check to look specifically at their eyes?
Roll for checking for creepy purple haze eyes.
5 plus. It's not gonna be good. What's perception? 9.
Not anything that you know.
Does everybody else hear that music?
Oh yeah, it's the ominous mood. Thanks, Sirenscape.
And shout out to Sirenscape for giving us the ominous mood that wasn't supposed to be commented on until like a break or something.
Break the fiction. Destroy it.
Do you break the fiction for you? Do you know how much work I have to do to like work in like power windows and shit for you?
So guys, just humor me and look at the statue's eyes and let me know if you see anything.
Do I see anything? Can I do a perception thing?
Yeah, me too.
Yep. Go ahead.
Why don't you go first?
I got a 10.
I got a 5.
Not.
I'm twice as perceptive as you are.
No.
I'm very distracted by the bubbles in this champagne.
Cheers.
But with a 10, Ruin, you do notice that there is a large statue, maybe 200 feet tall, in the most apparently central building that you can see above manned gates and walls that separate it from the rest of the city. And you continue along, and you get past a factory district where steam and smoke and something you can't quite identify is billowing into the air. And the next building that you see, that you run up to, has no statues. But what it does have is an impressive set of 30-foot tall double doors, emblazoned with an emblem of a skull and playing cards.
Is that the same that was on the coach?
Yep. The coachman pulls up to the side behind a bright, not quite bright, but a pastel pink and black coach, and steps down after parking the Pegasi and opens the door and offers Ruin a hand.
I will gracefully give my hand and exit the cart, coach.
And he lets you drop down.
Nice.
And he, like, in turn, offers his hand to each of you.
I'll take his hand.
Yeah, he helps you down, but he tries not to do it in a like condescending way. You can tell he's like deliberately not picking you up.
I appreciate that.
How tall is he?
6'8", near as you can tell.
I kind of put
a head.
I kind of put my arm up for uppies because I want him to pick me up.
You almost think he laughs, like he does the movement for it, like, and he picks you up and like throws you up in the air just like a few feet and just puts you down on the side and pats you on the shoulder.
Well, thank you, my good man.
You really seem to enjoy that.
He walks up to the pink and black coach and opens the door and offers his hand. And a 40-something-year-old woman in a same color-schemed cocktail dress takes his hand and steps out as well. And she's wearing her hair up. And she looks back at the three of you. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Monsieur Mortier's coach. Are you friends of his?
Guests.
Yeah, I mean, I'm.
You
I'm
must be
friends.
Revenant.
Yeah.
He's talked so much about you. He's been looking forward to meeting you for years. Years, darling.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to meet him. From what I read in the letters, we have quite a bit to talk about.
Oh, you certainly do. And especially with you and your new friends and your situation, as I understand it. But regardless, it is a pleasure to meet you, and forgive me for the rudeness of forgetting my own name, apparently. I am Madame Sunwise.
Madame Sunwise, so nice to meet you. Of
And
course,
she hands you a business card. Maison du Soleil Levant. I used to be what you might call a woman of negotiable affection, and I facilitate more than anything else now. But if you wish, make your way down to where I am.
Do you only have one of those cards? Can I have a business card?
Absolutely. Are you looking for work?
Always.
Yeah. This is Ruin Delibre, and this is Zoomus Glortherion.
Delibre.
I'm very good with my hands.
That's a familiar name. I don't quite remember where I know it from, though. I'm sorry.
We're famous fort back where I come from.
I'll have to check Kent's Peerage when I have a chance.
Well, that's a great idea. Let me know what you find.
Yep. Okay, I want you to roll me intelligence to see if you know what that is.
Oh, natural 20.
Yeah.
You have never heard of this before, but you do know that royal families and very important families like to keep track of who's who in the world. So it's not uncommon for certain areas to print books that is nothing but lineages of important people.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. I was like, she's not going to find me in there. Go for it.
They update every year.
Nice.
Well, would you like to join me in?
Oh, naturally. Would you like my arm?
Oh. And she takes your arm. Though you should have been the one to offer. She turns to Zermos.
Well, if I had the space and opportunity, I definitely would have. But come along, Revenant. And
Zermos may or may not have a husband, so we don't quite know about that. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. I assumed you were single.
It's a thing. Revenant, come on.
All right.
She walks with you inside the double doors, which are taken by two more headless men. And it opens up to a casino. There are craps tables, poker tables, other sorts of gambling tables that you have never even heard of before. Like, there's one guy who's doing 5-finger fillet against another guy, and you have never seen somebody in such finery doing such a game. But there are huge stacks of coins on all the tables. And she takes you to the front desk. All right. You just got to turn in your weapons into the cam heads. And behind the counter is an odd, like 5-foot-tall humanoid being that almost seems like if a human was stretched out of ink. And its head looks like an odd combination of a box and a telescope. And it looks directly at you. And there is a crystal sphere behind it. And you can see yourself in the crystal sphere as if you're seeing it through the eye, the central eye of what she just called a cam head. And she's like, gotta hand over the weapons. And she like hikes her skirts up and starts pulling out blackjacks and little caltrops and stuff like that and puts them on the desk.
I so knew I was gonna like you.
A few things that you don't even recognize. And like she hands up a roll of coins and she's like, does this even count?
Revenant, I don't even know what that last thing was, but I'm a little afraid of it.
It's never mind.
It reinforces the knuckles.
Right, yeah, no. Like this is a good setup.
Break your hand on some punk's face.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get the name of your armor. Some of these things are really nice.
Oh no, dearie. These are things that I've just picked up over the years. Wink. You better turn in yours as well.
Yeah.
Revenant takes out his khopesh and lays it on the table. He then takes out his silver dagger, and then his bone adze. And I think he has like several like really poorly made goblin short bows
that he just carried on him all this time.
Yeah. He just says, you can use it as firewood if you want, mate. I really have no loyalty to those.
And the camhead shrugs. And like puts them in a box for you. And like he takes a look at the ads and he hands you a laminated sheet and taps on one of the numbers on it, which is like number 5, which says cultural artifact.
So I don't need to check this in?
And he pushes it back to you and taps the number that says cultural artifact.
Okay. Cheers, mate.
And he looks at you, Ruin, and you see the crystal sphere shifts over to a view of you.
Well, yeah, I have my trident and my crossbow, my 2 daggers, and the silver dagger, and my war hammer.
And he looks at the hammer.
I'm sorry?
He looks at the hammer and he taps it. And he points to one of the numbers. And what would this number say? Vestment. Vestments. It says vestments. And he pushes it back to you.
Vestments?
Vestments.
Investments.
And he looks at you, Zermos.
And Zermos will take out his dagger and place it on the counter and slide it across and say, "Surely you would not like to part a young man from his walking stick."
And he taps it. And he taps on vestments and he passes it back to you.
Good chap. Good chap.
And you see Madame Sunwise, and she takes a coin out of her pocket and she places it into the camhead's breast pocket.
Okay.
All right. Have you ever been on an elevator before?
But usually to Doom. So I'm not sure.
Are you joking with me?
No.
Okay. And she walks you in.
It's very exciting.
And there is a man in a tuxedo inside this little elevator shaft. And he looks at you all and he, "Good day. What floor?" "Coliseum Observatory." "Of course. Good to see you as always, Madame Sunwise." And when you all step on, he throws a lever and you hear and
Whoa.
the entire thing just shakes a little bit and lifts. And it's going by slowly. And there are multiple little buttons on the front that light up. And it's going like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. And it gets to like, you see you have like 30 floors to go through.
Zermos grabs his wrist and pulls his finger back from pushing all the buttons.
Oh, I'm sorry, dear. The buttons don't actually do anything. It's all the It's all the elevator operator here.
I understand it's a character flaw.
We all have those.
That's true.
Yeah, more character flaws or get in situations that are very unpredictable.
Like hanging out with us.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about.
Like the elevator music.
I could sing you a song.
Oh, that'd be great.
What good is sitting alone in your room? Time for a holiday. Life is a cabaret, oh chum. Come to the cabaret. Come taste the wine. Come hear the band. And her voice is a little bit rusty, but you get the feeling that this is an old song she's practiced many, many times before. Perhaps in younger days.
Zermos drops a sick beat with his
roll a performance
with his spear in his boot on the floor.
Roll performance.
Woo-hoo, that is a 15 plus 4. That's a 19.
Nice.
And she enjoys doing it with you, and it like takes almost the whole little performance to get back up. And like when the elevator operator stops at the floor and opens the gates, he like gives a little golf clap. And she like takes a coin and puts it in his breast pocket, and she leans in and kisses him on the cheek and just pats him on it and walks along.
Yay.
Best come with me. Best come with.
He's not headless?
Not headless.
Okay. I was like, wait, she kissed the headless guy on the cheek?
Nope.
Not that cheek.
Ooh.
Not that cheek.
This will sting.
You are not even on the top floor. You are on the roof of this 30-story building, which is bigger than anything you have ever seen in your life. And it's a circular ring that looks around this central pit in which an entire ancient stone structure sits, a structure clearly older than the tower it sits on.
Okay.
And this
Do you like it?
Side? Are we? Is there like any kind of shelter, or is it directly under the sky?
It's directly under the sky. There's a guardrail going around the entire thing, though.
Okay.
Leading to a pavilion, almost like a funeral pavilion, where you just have outstretched canvas over that at a buffet style thing going on.
So there's the canvas is over the buffet, but otherwise it's just
otherwise it's
here.
And there are people waiting around the buffet that has a central podium.
What time of day is it?
You'd estimate it to be about 1 o'clock.
Okay.
In the afternoon?
You have had a very, very long time.
1 o'clock in the afternoon?
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh, God. So we're into the next day.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
Do we recognize?
And if I were a jackass DM, I might consider making you guys take a point of exhaustion.
Please don't.
I will not this time.
We've suffered enough.
Yes.
Do we recognize anyone gathered around the buffet or anything like that?
They're people in finery. Various degrees of finery, but finery nonetheless. And they walk with an air of importance. Self-importance. Definitely.
Nobles.
And Madame Sunwise calls, "All right, everyone, party's here." And with that, a just puff of blue flame comes up behind the podium. And there stands a man shape. It is a skeleton of yellowed bone in a sparkling blue tuxedo with a blue flame goatee And he says, Monsieurs, maladies, mademoiselles, and malapropisms, it is with great pride that I am prepared to debut Revenant and his two guests, Zermos, and of course, the fabulous Ruin de Libre. Please, everyone, give a round of applause for our newest friends of Brassbane. And everyone turns around and applauds you. Mon ami, it is good to see you all. Please, come, thank you, mingle, and enjoy yourselves. I am so happy to finally meet you.
This is Monsieur d'Artagnan, I take it.
I am Monsieur d'Artagnan Mortier. And I am, through no fault of my own, an anthropomorphic personification of death. Do not worry. I am merely un petit mort. Is my own joke.
I know what that is.
Come, tell me about yourselves. Revenant, forgive me and forgive the absence of your two friends. But come with me for a second to my office. There is much I wish to discuss with you. And if you two would mingle, I am so pleased to see you both. And I will make time to properly introduce myself later. Please mingle about yourselves and get to know the city a little bit.
Let's go check out the buffet, Zermo.
Yeah, they have food.
I think they've got some kind of wrapped date over there.
Yeah,
No, I'm with it. Let's go.
You guys have fun. I'm gonna go chat with all.
Do we have any code between us? Where I'm like, are you okay?
Yeah, we should look.
Does Remnant look all right?
Mon ami, mon chéri, I promise you, if a man of my type meant you harm, I did not need you to be here to make it happen.
It's not reassuring, but thanks.
Yeah, that's just menacing. That's all that is.
Yeah, but it's all right. We'll go get some food.
It's okay. It's a joke. No, we're fine. We're happy. We're good friends. Look at us. I kiss you on cheek.
Oh, your beard is hot.
Thank you.
Everything's gonna be fine.
Right, we're here if you need us, Revenant. Just shout.
If anything, nothing's gonna go wrong. But if you need a signal, right, or say something in deep speech. It crawls through walls. It's the most obnoxious language ever. You'll hear me no matter where I am, so it's fine.
Okay, got it.
All right.
Time for food.
And Monsieur d'Artagnan Mortier takes Revenant by the shoulder, talking with him along the way.
Hey, you really know how to make someone feel welcome, Monsieur.
A final room that's clearly not accessible by the elevator that oversees everything. The back wall of it is entirely made up of windows, and the front wall of it is entirely made up of windows to look down into the Colosseum and to look out onto the city. And we'll get back to what happens with Revenant here in a little bit, and we'll focus on Mikey. Well, I'm sorry, Zermos.
No, Mikey's there. Mikey's there.
Yes, the interdimensional
guys?
the interdimensional traveler Mikey has got a side gig carrying a plate of shrimp puffs.
The goddess of the multiverse wants to have fun, so Mikey's here.
I'm the producer.
Yes.
While I check out the food, I also want to do a little survey, fighter style, of the landscape in the event that we need to escape or fight our way out, because that happens. So I don't know if that's like a perception check or...
There's the elevator.
Yeah, I mean other things.
There's the elevator.
What about the edge of the guardrail? Can we climb down? I have rope.
It's 30 feet up. No, I'm sorry. It's 30 stories up.
Yeah.
Get into the...
There's the elevator.
That's okay. Not sure I feel good about that, but okay.
You do, I believe, have potions of featherfall or something like that.
Oh, I don't.
I have a
rope.
Yeah,
Okay.
we both have 100 feet of rope to get down 280 feet. So I think we're kind of screwed. We might have to talk our way out of
I have a
this.
scroll of feather fall.
Well, good for Revenant.
And then there goes Revenant with the only escape plan.
All right. And,
All right.
okay. But would you like to make an assessment of the people?
Oh yeah.
I want to do at least a perception to see like what kind of people are around us.
Mm-hmm.
Like what types.
There's mostly human. There's one guy that's made out of metal, and his central bits are made out of wood. And he's trying to wear a tuxedo. But the little cummerbund keeps on rolling back up because he hasn't tucked it in, and like he doesn't understand what he's doing, and his bow tie's crooked, and like his buttons are misaligned.
He thinks he looks nice.
And he's just chatting everyone's ears off. There's a short little human man that is clearly exhausted with him, but is listening to him anyway. And there's a deep gnome here. In a chair that just floats off the ground. And
I'll lean over and elbow Ruin. Is it look familiar?
Oh. Should we talk to them?
Yeah, because we're just people watching at this point. So every single person every type and kind of person that you've named, we've probably had some snarky comment about them.
You could, or you could just mingle and introduce yourselves to people.
But let's do that.
Let's walk
Who
over.
do you want to introduce yourselves to?
Well, the deep gnome, obviously.
Yeah.
All right. The deep gnome is talking. It's like, and anyway, so I told him it tasted like a copper penny, but he didn't believe me. So I just hired a. Oh, hello there.
Hello.
Hail and well met.
Hail and well met. I'm Coolidge Slab Maker. What can I do for you today, Mike?
What do you think is the most interesting food item on the buffet?
I'm a fan of mushrooms, so I'd recommend anything with mushrooms.
Like mushrooms.
This cocktail stuff's honestly a little too impromptuous. I don't know if that's even a word.
It is now.
Yeah, impromptuous for me. And I just like a cold one every now and then. And I bring my cold storage with me. And he points to a little ring on his finger. You want a brewski?
Oh, always.
And he holds his hand out and slides the ring down the sky next to him and opens a slit in the air itself. And he pulls it open into a portal. And roll me perception.
Oh, he likes LPAs a lot. I got a 13.
Nat 1.
Okay. Zarmos, you don't see shit.
I was
Ruined.
He
has opened this to a dark and frozen expanse that looks like it's just taking place out across the night sky. You can see stars and galaxies in the distance, but closer than that, you can see creatures with tentacled faces frozen in place. Not in place, but in stance, floating across space, clearly dead. And he's like, all right, where is it? Where is it? And he reaches in and you hear some clinking of glass, and he pulls his hands out and he shakes a tentacle off and he hands you a bottle of beer.
Thank you.
And closes the gate.
Very nice.
I didn't even see where you got this from. It is very cold.
It's the coldest place on Earth. Well, not Earth, but
In existence.
available to us. You see, there was a war a while back. And we won. We won damn good. And
Who is we?
That's what I want to know.
Brass Vein or the Ailton Empire. They're one and the same in my book. But yeah, you could say we sort of saved Caldera from the mind flayers. Quite proud of that, Mike. And you know, a little business opportunity here and there, and well, I'll make little squawkies and things like that at my factory.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah. So what do you guys do for a living, Mike?
Well, we take care of problems.
You go waltzing Matilda.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
Oh, knew it. I knew it from the looks of you.
Who is Matilda?
Oh. You murder people for money is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Well, when they're a problem.
Everyone's a problem, Mike. In someone's eyes.
You do make a good point.
You got to understand your market.
Well, it is an ever-growing market for sure.
I tell you what, you want to understand markets, you need to talk to Mr. Shagtree over there.
Mr. Shag?
He knows markets.
What can you point him out? Which gentleman do you refer?
He's the exasperated one, talking to the robot.
Well, thank you for the recommendation, Ruin. And he kind of puts out his elbow.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And as you two go over to introduce yourselves to Mr. Shadetree, we'll pop back to the office of Monsieur d'Artagnan Motrier. Mon ami, I feel like I have known you a long time. We are a sort of colleague, if you will.
And how do you figure that?
We have similar obsessions. Mine was forced on me by chance, yours by determination. I respect that.
Just how much about me do you know?
Do you know the moment that you sold your name to the Silverbone Grim?
Yes. I remember it. It was probably 7 or 8 years ago.
I have known everything about you from that moment on, because you see, I too am an aspect of death. I am un petit mort, mon ami. Just a little death. I am small in this world. But I understand you would like to meet La Grandmore. Is this not true?
I mean, it's everything I've ever worked for.
I know, mon ami. And it is within your grasp now because I am here. But I have a price. I have a price that is small compared to the reward you will receive, but big in this world, mon ami. May I ask this of you?
Well, certainly. Or
you may refuse if you wish. There shall be no resentment, and you shall continue to be a dear part of me.
Okay.
Mon ami, you notice there are no statues in this office? There are no statues in this building?
Yeah.
There are no squawkies? Welcome to the most secure place in Brassvein, my friend. The God King will not ever hear us from here. And that's very important right now. Because, mon ami, I wish to hire you for a job. I wish for you to kill the God King for me. And in return, I will give you a spell book with which you may summon La Grandmore.
Kill the God King, meet death.
I will do what I can to financially support you until this is complete. You may have my coach and my coachman as long as you need him. I'm afraid he is limited to this one floating island by law. But it will help you a little bit.
You know, you drive a hard bargain, but I don't see why I couldn't do that for you.
Then there is but one more question. What would it take for your partners to buy in on this deal?
Zumos cares deeply for the security of a god of life known as the Great Bristlecombe Grandfather. In fact,
then he probably wishes to kill the God King already.
Yeah, so I think it wouldn't take much to nudge him in that direction. I think I could get him on board. Now, Ruin, I think, could be persuaded similarly. She is a prophet of Silent Peter.
Silent Peter?
Yeah.
How is this a thing? I thought that was a rumor of a god. I did not realize it was true. How has he survived all this time with no worshippers? Well, he is the spirit of the harvest. I guess he is worshipped tangentially.
Well, I also have my own theories about Silent Peter. I think...
I know, I've read them.
Yeah, well, more experimental research I've done on him shows that he's more of an interdimensional... You know what? This is a boring conversation, I think.
And also, I already know it, because again, you sold your name. You sold your name on me.
It's true.
I know everything you know.
So you know about the cure. And Revenant slowly looks into D'Artagnan's eyes and removes his goggles so his reflective eyes.
Mon ami, I know about the cure. And we swap back over to Ruin and Zermos going up to talk to this robot and a man known as Mr. Shade Tree.
Right.
No.
SHADE tree? Shade tree?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I called him Mr. Shag Tree, which is probably
too.
something different.
You were probably thinking of that because of Madame Sunwise.
I was like, Shag Tree, that's cool.
I got an aside to tell you about later involving that word. Yeah. All right. So, how do you two introduce yourselves to Mr. Shade Tree and the robot?
And Shade Tree is a human, you said?
Shade Tree is a short and stout human. Portly, if you will.
Hail and well met.
I'm sorry, Hefton. The talk of the potato chip factory will have to wait a little bit, riveting as it is. Hello there, Ruin de Libre.
Hello, Mr. Shade Tree.
It is good to meet you.
Hail and well met.
And you too, Zermos. I understand Monsieur Mortier has very high expectations of you.
Of me?
Of you all. You and your little group have caused quite the stir. I understand.
tell us more about what you understand.
Yeah, what kind of stir do you think that we created?
The whole town's talking about you.
Well, we are performers. Did they see our last
Aren't we
performance?
all?
I do
Well,
rest
how's that
owlbears.
phrase go? All the world's a stage.
This is true. But I'm talking about real ones like owlbear wrestling.
Oh, you have an entertainment background.
It's true. But we were
And you
told,
see the robot raises his hand and goes, "Hi, I'm Hefton."
hi, Hefton. Are you willing to fetch us some of those delightful dates from that buffet?
Hell no.
Oh, I'm so
There's
sad.
a guy for that. Here, I'll wave him down for you. Hey,
Okay.
hey. And he just keeps on waving his hand and going, hey, until this guy in a vest comes over with a tray and he like grabs the tray from him and pushes him away and hands the tray to you.
Delicious, thank you. That was not as graceful as I would have hoped, but
What's your name? I wasn't paying attention.
oh, it's Rune.
Yeah?
Mhm.
That's a cool name.
It is.
I'm
Miss,
supposed to tell you my name now. I'm Hefton.
you already did. We got that.
Are you sure?
Mhm.
Because you didn't acknowledge that.
Do I have a stick I can throw for him?
Are you going to throw something for him to go get?
Uh-huh.
You can try.
Okay.
Roll for it.
What am I rolling? Athletics?
Persuasion.
Oh, okay. Not as good at that. 16.
And he looks at that and goes, "Why'd you throw that?"
Just gonna keep eating.
Hefton, tell me a bit about yourself.
Okay. I like fighting. Fighting's fun.
Who do you like to fight?
Anybody.
Anyone.
Yeah, it's great. I always win.
You've never lost.
Nope. Well, except for that one time. But, you know, now I got a robot body.
From the
It's
fight.
cool.
Did you lose your first body in the fight that you lost?
Oh, no. I lost my first body when Mine Top was taken.
Oh, do tell.
Oh, I tried to stand up against the God King by bringing my axe up against him,
Yeah?
and he squashed me. It hurt.
Real
And
bad.
then I showed up at Monsieur Mortier's place, and like he said, "You want to play a game?" And I'm like, "Yeah, games are fun."
Who
And
doesn't
like
like a game?
yeah. Then I had to do like this little quiz show, but that sucked. And he noticed I wasn't really good at it. So he let me do another thing because that wasn't really fair. And I did this obstacle challenge and I won this body.
And tell me about your body. What are the features of this calamity that you are standing in front of me inside?
Oh, it's really strong. I can't eat anything. That sucks. That sucks bad.
Do you miss it?
Oh, I miss it so much. I miss it every day. Like Monsieur Mortier does these little parties for people who can't eat where we come up to the roof and they get like little tables and stuff like that. And we sit down beside them and we watch people eat and we talk to them about like mouthfeel and stuff like that. But I'm Hefton, by the way. I'm sorry. I don't know if I said that.
No, it's brand new information.
Okay.
Oh, you're Hefton. Oh.
Yeah.
See.
And then I'm going to shoot a look over to Ruin like, someone's missing a couple of screws in the new body.
I'm gonna engage Hefton in conversation so Zermos can maybe ask Shade Tree the questions we wanted to ask.
Shade Tree.
Hefton ends up having a conversation with you about the difference between squirrels on the surface and squirrels in the city.
Yes, I am not going to stab my eyes out.
And like they're super bristly, and I don't get it, but like they're also really fat, so that they have a lot of oil in them. So they don't make as good paintbrushes, is my understanding. But he keeps on talking about squirrels.
And I'm gonna keep his attention so we can actually do what we came over here to do.
All right, and Mr. Shade Tree continues talking to Zermos. Your friend seems quite socially apt.
She has definitely a set of skills that benefits our little sortie in many a situation.
Well, despite his demeanor, Hefton is a very good friend to have. And he is the favored champion of the Coliseum. And there's some brand recognition when you get him on a product. So he's a good person to have in your court.
His name is Hefton. Does he have a last name?
No.
Just Hefton.
Hefton the Half-Ton Halfling is what he is called now.
Oh.
He was, his body was a halfling before then. If he shuts his body down, he'll have a little ghost form of the halfling that comes out.
Oh, I understand.
So that he can come and ask me business questions at 2 a.m.
Well, that must be terribly convenient for one of you.
He means well. He's just excitable. And he doesn't get tired anymore.
Yeah. That would explain the veracity of his speech, because he does seem to talk a lot at once.
And we flip back over to Revenant, and he's like, but the gray squirrels seem to have like really much longer hairs, and like my sister tells me like that's good for the flatter brushes, and I guess that's okay and true, but like if you try to trim them wrong, it's weird. I mean, I've never made a brush before, but it's like super interesting. And we swap back over to
fascinating.
Zarmos and Mr. Shadetree talking. So
yes, so it has come to our attention that we have created a bit of a stir in Blasphemy. Although we have been here a mere hours. We know nothing of this place. What is word on the street about the three of us?
Well, some of the media members are calling you terrorists. Others are more sympathetic to what you have going on, but these tend to be the independent newspapers that don't have quite the same level of backing.
So, hypothetical situation. If I wanted to know who it was saying each side of these things, which people maybe should I go visit to just... I mean, maybe I think it's time for us to give an interview.
You want to give your side of the story?
I think an interview is in need.
Oh.
Interesting.
Why should they postulate on such matters when they can go directly to the source?
That is a very good question, I think. You might run into a problem, though.
All right.
One of the people you killed, Slate Lodestone.
The dwarf.
Yeah, the dwarf. The owner of the newspaper is his father.
And which paper is this?
Miners Daily. MINER''S. Never mind that most of the dwarves here have never seen the inside of a mine. They like sticking by tradition.
Perhaps we should pay the father a visit, and
I would talk to the smaller newspapers first. Get your interview with them, and have him come to you to ask you for an interview. Eventually he will. If every other newspaper is getting to talk to you and he isn't, it makes his newspaper look irrelevant.
Is there anyone here at the party that owns a newspaper by chance?
Hey, tell me, how do you feel about the Divine Menagerie?
That sounds like a trap.
Well, as I said earlier, this is our first time here. We've been to you know where, and here we are.
Zermos, I will tell you, I am the most honest businessman in all of Blasphemy. Do you think I could do business with someone like Hefton if I had to keep track of lies with as many questions as he asks?
Mm.
And
That is a very strong
we flip
point.
back over to Hefton, and he's going, but like the red squirrels have really thin hairs. And, and we swap back over. I couldn't do it. So, you tell me how you actually feel, and I'll give you advice from there. Because I like having good people in my pocket. And Hefton may be a little bizarre and a little erratic. But at heart, not literally at heart, but, at his metaphorical,
At
heart.
center mass, yes.
Yeah, he's a good person.
Well, it's not that we enjoy the idea of the menagerie, but without having seen it for ourselves, it does sound a bit off. It does sound strange.
That's a very safe answer.
Well, I don't.
Probably the answer you should give to Christopher Rudgerson, the owner of the Divine Menagerie.
Is
But
he in
I
attendance?
would like to hear what Zermos thinks about it.
Well, I'm not. Having met you just now, I do not know which gods you owe your allegiance to. But I can promise you this. It would darken your heart to see your God behind bars.
That is a significantly less safe answer and a significantly more honest one. Christopher Rudgerson over there owns the other major newspaper, and he is also the owner of the Divine Menagerie.
Well, I'm glad that we had this conversation. And is there a small fish that we can use to maybe draw in the big fish when it comes to this newspaper?
Not anyone that I can think of that was invited here. Maybe you could just pick up an address book and take a look under printing presses. That's what I'd start.
And Zermos will put out his arm to do like the whole forearm shake with him.
Like it's super awkward because he's going to shake your hand, and then he's like,
and I grab his whole arm.
He's like, oh, old school, old school. And we swap back over to Hefton, and he's like, but like, then you have catgut, and like, why would you want to use catgut? Like, why? How does that even work? Like, is that actual gut of cat? I'm sorry, you're eating. I probably shouldn't be talking about that.
Oh, I've got a very strong stomach. Do you want some? Do you eat anything? Is the robot body processed food? You said you listen to people. Do you want to tell you about my mouth experience?
I would like nothing more.
These dates are just sensuous. The way that they burst, they've got like a very powerful flavor. It's like biting on a blister. It's like it's a really or an eyeball. I don't know if you've ever done that before. They like those in the southern regions down by us.
And he's just like hanging on your every word.
Mm-hmm.
And then they put where his robot mouth would be drooling if there wasn't just like a little seam that was showing.
Yeah, I've never had a date quite like this. Usually they're a little tougher. I'm not sure how they did. They must have cooked them for a while with some juices.
All right. And Monsieur d'Artagnan Mortier is walking out with Revenant. And he's like, Mon ami, when you have a moment, if you wish to stay at the hotel for the night in the casino, he's just fine. He's absolutely fine. But when you have a moment to speak to your friends, you may take the master suite if you wish. Think hard about it. Talk to your friends. This is a safe place with which you may speak freely. So long as other people aren't around, you will be fine.
I can guarantee you that I can convince them to, so long as you fund us and,
Within reason, yes.
Yeah, well, obviously, I'm not going to take advantage of your kind hospitality, but, yeah, I'm going to make a few employees, with some raise dead spells. And I'm sure we can get this partnership underway. If they have any questions, can I direct them to you?
Would you like a meeting with me in the morning?
Yes. I think that would be very proficient.
Merely come up to my office tomorrow. We'll say 10 a.m. We have a little brunch. It will be good.
All right. Cheers, mate. I'll go tell Miss Delibre and Mr. Glortherion the plan, and I'll mingle with your guests.
All right. And as you're walking over, someone in a floating chair just pulls on your arm really quick. Hold on.
Good day.
I know you, mate.
You know me, mate?
You know me, mate.
Do I know this person?
This is the person that sold out your entire cult and fucked you all over. I don't think you ever got my name, but I got it back. I'm Killage Slabmaker, mate.
Killage Slabmaker.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
you want a brewski? And I think that's where we'll take a break.
Jonathan, I'm the Dungeon Master from that one here.
Okay.
You suck. You suck. You should be recording already. Why aren't you recording already, Mikey? This is on you.
True.
All right. Hi there. I'm Jonathan. I'm the Dungeon Master for Nat 1 Heroes. If you haven't already liked, commented, and subscribed, do that. And hey, if you saw where I got something wrong as the DM, you actually didn't. But you can go ahead and comment about it so that I can argue with you.